During and after the floods and fire that devastated Accra, I journeyed around the city to investigate the extent of the damage and how families were pulling themselves together. My first observation was that it could take years for the devastating damage across the city to be repaired. Officials have announced that 150 people have so far lost their lives both through the floods and the fire at the Goil filling station at Circle. The figure could, however, go up as more bodies continue to be found in drains across the city. As I walk through the debris left by the floods in some of the worst affected areas, people recounted stories to me off camera about what they had witnessed during the floods. I was told of the young lady who slipped into the gutter, never to be seen alive again. I heard the story of the woman who had to let go of her 3-year-old son after battling with speeding water for about 20 minutes and how she is now traumatized by that event. This young man was prevented by these good Samaritans from jumping into this gutter where he believed his mother had drowned. Even though he wanted to save her, it was too late, and going in would have been suicidal.
We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day, so let's start giving. Gotta start giving. There's a choice to make. We're saving our own lives. That is true. We make a better day. Just you and me.
78 hours after the floods hit Accra, people are still struggling to come to terms with the reality of the damage. When I visited some households in Nima, Alaju and Kokomlimli, they had emptied all their rooms in order to get their belongings dry. At night, I drove around the streets of Accra. Many of those whose homes were affected and who had no one to turn to turned to the streets for shelter. Officials of the Meteorology Service told me that Accra is likely to witness some more rains in the coming days. The implication is that those who sleep on the streets are not guaranteed of any safety. Hundreds of people across the country have been staying with friends and relatives since the record rainfall led to the flooding of several homes. Victims of the floods that hit Accra are still counting their losses. People have lost their property, people have lost certificates, their passports, and people have even lost their places of abode. And they are only asking the government and NADMO to quicken the pace at which help is coming to them.
I have no idea where I'm going to sleep tonight. The speed at which the water was flowing was such that it washed everything away.
It's spreading into people's houses.
It have to divert itself.
So the water has to divert to houses. So all this side, they are just lucky that the water did not enter them well like ours. See, if you go inside our room right now, the room is very, very bad. So we are pleading to the government to come to our aid.
Our school certificate, end of sale reports, got everything, our clothes, we don't have anything to wear now. Our room is, our sofas, I mean everything is gone, it's void, we can't use it
again. The floods have largely been blamed on the lack of adequate drainage systems as well as the habit of leaving rubbish in the drains. I'm standing at a portion where so many cars have blocked the drains and making it impossible for water to pass through. And this was one of the causes of the flooding of many homes, leading to the loss of lives and these debris need to be cleared as soon as possible. Some people who lost their relatives to the floods and fire are yet to locate their bodies as people mass up at mortuaries in Accra to identify their loved ones. I'm now driving out of the 37 military hospitals, one of the hospitals that so many of the bodies of those who lost their lives in the floods and the fire at the Goel filling station have been brought, and families have queued up to identify the bodies. I couldn't interview any of the victims because some of them are still very much traumatized. By the time I set off to my house, I was convinced that for Ghana never again to experience flooding of such magnitude, the city authorities must up their game, and all of us as citizens must desist from indiscriminate littering of rubbish. Never again. Abdul Moomen, GBC 24, Accra.
We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me.